Hey guys, I'm going to be discussing the very controversial topic of should you purchase UCS sets. So, first off, I just want to say UCS sets stand for Ultimate Collector Series sets. These sets are intended to be large, best possible versions of these LEGO Star Wars sets. They include exclusive figurines, and that is one of the main reasons why people buy them. For instance, previous ones, such as the UCS Death Stars figures, are selling for upwards of $100. Absolutely insane in my opinion, and the only reason why these figures are worth so much money, especially stuff like generic ATST drivers with special printing, being worth so much money solely because they come out in these crazy expensive sets that not many people can afford. Therefore, they can literally charge whatever price they want on these figures, which I feel is relatively unfair. However, it is what it is. Legos, of course, can always keep these figures expensive, which I think is nice that we have some expensive, rare stuff like other themes like Pokemon or whatever you're collecting trading card games, and they have very, very expensive sought after stuff, which I think is good that Lego's doing that with recent stuff. However, I feel that's just unfair to not make a generic version of everything. For instance, stuff like the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. We all want one, however, none of us are going to be able to afford it because of how expensive it is. Therefore, I feel like it would just be very rational for Lego to make cheaper versions of the figures, like what they did with the Jango Fett Slave 1. Really awesome, where they had the UCS version and the Playscale version, where the Playscale version included one without arm printing. So the UCS one still holds its value, while people that don't have as much money to pay for the UCS one can have a version of Jango Fett that's not going to cost them over $100. Additionally, I feel that UCS sets are an amazing way to expand your collection. I would recommend buying them. However, I do not appreciate the GWPs we're getting from Lego. Stuff like that ugly TIE fighter that came from the UCS Death Star is absolutely ridiculous of Lego to make, especially since the amount of money we're paying for something like that. It should have already been included, and it shouldn't have been included because of how bad it was. Honestly, they should have spent more money making a nicer, better looking one. They 100% could have. They totally cheapskated out on this. Honestly, could have made it 10 times better. However, it's Lego. It is what it is. So thank you guys for watching. As always, please like and subscribe. And I hope that you guys take this advice on if you're wanting to buy a UCS set. I would recommend to buy the set if you want the figures, just because in the long run it's better to have a set and pay an extra $100 than just have a rare and expensive figure.